The Marine Corps' presence in the Pacific dates back to the Boxer Rebellion in 1900. Marines like Private Dan Daly and First Lieutenant Smedley Butler displayed the fighting spirit of the Corps, setting a new level of honor, courage, and commitment. The Marine Corps was then called to the Pacific once again, when Japanese air and naval forces attacked Pearl Harbor in December 1941. Within the next 4 years, the United States launched what would be known as the Island Hopping Campaign, pressing forward from island to island, gaining control of the Pacific. Islands like Guam, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa were key locations in order to take control of the war. It was April 1st, 1945, when U.S. forces stormed the beaches of Okinawa, becoming the bloodiest battle in the Pacific, lasting 3 months before America claimed victory. We continued to win battles and continued our legacy when the Marine Corps was called to defend South Korea. Names like Chesty Puller and Lewis Wilson embodied the spirit and standards that the Corps had statured. In battles like the Chosin Reservoir, that represents the enduring resilience of Marines and sailors, with the newly honored horse, Staff Sergeant Reckless, who contributed to battlefield successes and showed the adaptability and ingenuity of Marines in the 1950s. Then 20 years later, with the emergence of the Vietnam War, heroic actions and unwavering pursuit for mission accomplishment continue to inspire future legends of the Marine Corps.
The Marines, sailors, civilian employees, and host nation employees and our allies have worked diligently and extremely hard to secure and protect our capabilities, strengthen our alliances, and expand the capabilities of naval expeditionary forces. These relationships continue to be a foundational bedrock to allow us to deter and defend as joint and combined forces.
You have made MCIPAC a success, a forward-deployed, forward-engaged force in readiness. And without your efforts, MCIPAC could not contribute across several time zones and thousands of people, enabling our forward deterrence and defense.
In the words of our Commandant, our network of bases and stations are located on strategic, key maritime terrain, and they give our nation a 6,000-mile head start. A head start that's been filled with reservoirs of blood and goodwill paid for by our forefathers at places like Tarawa, Guadalcanal, Guam, and right here on Okinawa. The 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, we honor those Marines, sailors, and soldiers of the greatest generation by maintaining the standard they set, and we continue today. As guests of our respective local communities, we continue to project our warrior ethos and our core values of honor, courage, and commitment. The young Marines today honor those traditions and continue the legacy set forth by the Marines of the past.
Tonight, we're celebrating 245 years of traditions and 120 years of bravery.
In my opinion, what it means to be a Marine is it's a matter of pride. Being able to say that you went through one of the hardest branches, boot camp, being able to serve on a ready force.
To be a Marine is to end up being the best at what we do. We do more with less, and that's not just a phrase that we typically throw out. We actually do more with less. So to be a Marine, what does it mean? That we're going to be always ready and that we will always answer the nation's call.
For the past 120 years, the Pacific continues to honor the rich, valorous history of Marines. We honor those who laid our foundation and those who continue to shape our Marine Corps. Celebrating the substantial successes and the humble victories.
Forward deployed and forward engaged means that you are mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared to leave at a moment's notice. Whether it's natural disasters or there may end up being a contingency somewhere to where we would have to take the MEU and float off the shore somewhere.
It's all about control and fast correspondence. So if something were to happen, if we weren't out here, it would take us days to respond. But since we're out here, it can take us less than 24 hours to get what we need, get the information, and get out there and help.
My grandfather was a Marine when Pearl Harbor took place, and he was on the battleship Nevada. He flew during during the Korean War, and he also did 2 tours in Vietnam. While he was in Vietnam, my uncle, who was a tanker. So why did I join the Marine Corps? Because I loved and respected my grandfather and my uncle for what they did and their love for the Marine Corps from the time that I first met them until their dying days. And that's why I joined the Marine Corps.
From Japan to Guam to Korea and Hawaii, we stand together with our allies. From the yellow footprints to the foreign soil, we are Marine Corps Installations Pacific.
This has been a challenging year, yet we have adapted to the environment and stayed focused on our mission. In this past year, we have supported countermine operations in the Corps' westernmost battle position, expanded bilateral training opportunities at places like Camp Fuji and Futenma, successfully supported the striking arm of 7th Fleet at Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni, aggressively implemented COVID-19 countermeasures to combat the outbreak here on Okinawa, flew COVID-19 tests in support of the Joint Force, been selected to serve as the test bed for force design, laying the foundation for the Corps' 1st Marine Littoral Regiment. Finally, stood up the first Marine Corps installation in 50 years with Marine Corps Base Camp Blas on Guam.
The work you have done has strengthened our Marine Corps and the security of our nation. The relationships we build and the work and dedication by our thousands of host nation employees and government service employees strengthens our deterrence posture in the Pacific.
You've been morally, mentally, and physically ready to go, and your continued dedication maintains a secure, free, open, and secure Indo-Pacific, protecting the American homeland, advancing our nation's interest, and extending the reach, versatility, and endurance of Naval Expeditionary Forces.
The core values we live by have allowed Marines and sailors to innovate and adapt to any situation. Your flexibility has been a character trait of Marines over our 245-year existence in serving the United States of America and supporting our allies and partners.
We at Marine Corps Installations Pacific thank you for your service and dedication. We want you to have a terrific birthday celebration.
Happy birthday from the Marines of the Pacific.